Many of you have asked for a video on how to use the digital logging feature on the KH1. In this video, I will show you how to enable the electronic logging, as well as how to view those logs both on the KH1, as well as download them to your computer. So let's dive in. Welcome to the House of Ham. I'm Bob, WV7W, and I had several viewers ask me to make a video on how to use the digital logging feature on the KH1. As you're watching this, if you have an idea for something you'd like me to cover, leave me a comment. I'll do my best to accommodate you. The electronic logging feature is nothing new or exclusive to the KH1. The KX2 also has this feature, although the KH1 can hold 50,000 characters, as where the KX2 can only hold 2,048. First, let's see how to enable the logging feature. Go into the menu, and using the AF knob or the left knob, scroll through until you get to the logging menu. Unlock this menu by holding down the 4 button. Once unlocked, you can scroll through the various options, and those are off, on, view, erase, and send to PC. Off and on turn on and off the logging of sent CW. Now, it is important to note that only sent CW text gets saved, not received. View will allow you to look at what is saved in memory, and erase will erase all of the stored CW text. Send to PC will send the CW memory to the KH1 utility. I will go over each of these, so first thing is to turn the logging feature on by getting into the menu by long pressing the 4 button. Scroll through the menu items until you get to the logging item. Elecraft puts their menu items in alphabetical order, so they're pretty easy to find. Unlock the logging menu by long pressing the 4 button. Once unlocked, use the VFO knob to change to the on option. Tap the 4 button to exit the menu. You will now notice that there is a flashing L next to the C on the upper line of the display. This lets you know that logging is enabled. A cool feature that they added is the ability to add a note into the log without transmitting. And you can do this in one of two ways. First, you could go into test mode, but that is kind of a pain if you just want to leave a quick note or something like, say, POTA US 1234. To quickly add a note, just tap the message or 4 button and key in your message with the paddle. Then, just tap the 4 button again to exit. Whatever you keyed in will show up in the digital log. These notes will show up as lowercase, as where transmitted text will show up in uppercase. Now that we have something in the log, let's take a look at it. So back into the menu, unlock the logging menu, and select the View option. Tap the 4 button to exit. And we now see the last entry in our log, which was our text we just added as a note. You see it's in lowercase. And at the beginning is the date and timestamp in the curly braces. Now I can scroll back in time by using the VFO knob and rotating counterclockwise. You can now see some of the actual CW that was transmitted. Notice that those items are in uppercase. To exit the log view, just tap any of the 4 buttons. I'm going to skip over the erase item for a minute and go into how to send it to the PC. Now this isn't particularly hard to do, but not really obvious either. The first thing is to make sure you have the KH1 utility installed and that it can see the KX USB adapter as a serial port. I am doing this on a Mac, and I didn't have to set up any drivers for the adapter. There is an FTDI driver for Windows, but I didn't need it on my Windows 11 laptop either. Your mileage may vary. Before we hook up the adapter to the cable to the KH1, and this is important, so don't get antsy and skip this part, go into the menu for the key jack and change it from paddle norm to RS-232. Now hook up the cable into the paddle jack. Run the KH1 Utility, and on the port tab, select the right serial port. On my Mac, it is USB serial A10KM9GT. On my Windows machine, it is COM3. And you can check your connection to the radio by clicking the Test Communications button. Click on the Command Tester tab at the top. Now back on the KH1, go into the menu and unlock Logging menu. Then with the VFO knob, select Send to PC. Tap the 4 button to exit the menu, and the text area at the bottom of the utility will populate with the full log text. Now starting at the top of this is from a summit that I did back in April. Notice that the slashes with XD and XA, those are escape characters for line feed and carriage return. According to Wayne, those shouldn't be showing up there. And if you look at a screenshot from my Windows laptop, they actually perform as intended by putting in the line feed and carriage returns. Wayne said he'd have his software engineers look into it. So if you're on a Mac, just know that you may have to strip those out in a text editor for now, but look for a KH1 utility update in the future. This is Bob from the future. Between recording this and now, Wayne has sent me a copy of the updated KH1 utility, and it now works as intended. You can see that there are line breaks before each time segment. Most of the text was me doing some tests except for a couple of CQ calls near the end. The new version should be available for both Mac and Linux very soon, or depending on when you're watching this, right away. This is one of the great things about Elecraft is they really do care about our user experience. Now back to the rest of the video. The first line you will see the date and time, which was for April 7th, 2024 at 1957 Zulu. Then you'll see a few M2s inside of brackets. These are because I used my M2 memory, which I have set up for CQ SOTA DEWV7W. The next line is me calling back a summit-to-summit station, N6 MTB. And a couple lines down, you will see Steve, WG0AT, who, if you don't know, is a rock star for the SOTA world. Thanks for the QSO, Steve. Let's go all the way to the bottom, and you will see my text I had sent. And notice it is in all lowercase. Remember, transmitted text is in uppercase, not transmitted text is in lowercase. If you want to save this text, you need to select it and copy and paste it into a text editor of some kind to save it as a file. The last thing we're going to do is erase these from the KH1. So first I'll disconnect my USB cable and put the paddle back to normal. Then back into the menu and go into the logging item to unlock it. Then using the VFO knob, go to Erase and tap the 4 button. This will erase the log entries from your KH1. You now should have enough to be able to use the digital logging feature and get those log items copied to your computer. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, do me a favor and hit that like button. You may also want to leave me a comment to let me know what you liked, what you didn't, or if you have any ideas for future videos that will enhance your portable QRP experience. Until next time, 73.